not over either, by the way. Season 3 is on its way.
You, sir, you have worked with one of my all-time favorite directors, Mexicano Maestro, Guillermo del Toro. We're big fans of him here. I heard that he created a written biography of your character in Crimson Peak. How have you managed to continue working without requesting every director do the same from now on?
It was amazing. It was amazing. It was, I can't remember how long it was. Guillermo is a very special man. The totality of his artistry is well documented. He's a genius, I think. He has a greater depth of passion for what he does. You've seen his movies, Pan's Labyrinth, The Devil's Backbone, The Shape of Water, Frankenstein, Pacific Rim, don't forget Pacific Rim. And yeah, to work with him was to enter his library. His library made real. He's read so much, he knows so much, his story seems to exist inside him, and he can't help it. Just, story comes out of him, and so when he wrote the screenplay, I think an extension of writing the characters was writing their backstories, and it's so helpful. I'm quite lucky in that with some of the other roles I've played, there also are, like with The Night Manager, for example, there's a whole novel written by Le Carre. With Loki, there's 60 or 80 years worth of comic books now, and 2,000 years worth of Norse myths and the poetic Edda. So I'm quite a warhorse. There was a book. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote a few books. I'm lucky that there's always been my Shakespearean work. There's always like an amazing play. So I'm quite lucky in a way that everything I've done, there is a foundation somewhere. And actually, Guillermo gave me a reading list as well. He said, it was Crimson Peak had evolved out of his deep love for the genre of Gothic romance in literature, like Jane Eyre and Rebecca and the Mysteries of Udolpho and the Castle of Otranto and the Myth of Bluebeard and all of these stories that have emerged in the 18th and 19th centuries as a very new and rebellious genre. A young heroine who's bright and curious, who encounters a tall, dark stranger with a house on the hill, and they're drawn to each other through some extraordinary charge of mutual fascination, and then it turns out the house on the hill has some secrets in it. And Crimson Peak was his interpretation of that story archetype, I suppose. But it was heaven working with him. He has such deep spirit and so much joy, and actually there's a lot of pain in Crimson Peak. But my memory of the film is that there was so much joy on the set because he's so generous, and the crew were always singing, and he creates this incredible atmosphere of passion and camaraderie, and which really is the only way you can make things. It's the only, it's a team game. And if people are happy at work and they feel they've been given their trust and permission to indulge their own interest, then people do their best work. He's a genius. And I miss him. I'll see him again soon.
I'm going to rattle off a few names here, and I would love it if you could share with us something interesting we may not know about them or what they mean to you. Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh changed my life. It's really simple. He gave me an opportunity that nobody else had ever given me before, and he trusted me with the role of Loki in a movie of the size I had never made. And in terms of my acting life, I can't conceive of what it would look like without that enormous gift, the gift of his trust and his friendship, that he believed in me. What do you not know about Ken? He's incredibly funny. He really is a hilarious person, but he doesn't get to show that side of himself that much.
How about the great Hugh Laurie?
Well, you know he's funny. At least I hope you do. What can I say about Hugh? Hugh has a precision in his intelligence, which I deeply admire. And in making The Night Man, I can't conceive of The Night Manager without him. He is such a profound admirer of Le Carré's writing. And when we first made The Night Manager, he was the great defender of the unique stitching that Le Carré writes with. You couldn't make it in a factory. There's no factory setting for Le Carré. It's a sort of one-of-a-kind stitching. And whenever it felt to him as though what we were doing wasn't quite Le Carré enough, he would steer it back. He's also unerringly kind. And has been extremely kind to me at various points in my life. He's an amazing man. Amazing man.
Olivia Colman.
Olivia Colman. What can I say about Olivia that you don't know? Deeply good, deeply mischievous, curses like a sailor. But that's what makes her fun. Incredibly, just the most enormous heart. And she has a very good nose for people on set who might need a lift, and she just wants everyone to be having a good time. She's really gifted, that she has this extraordinary gift of she just wants everyone to be happy, because she knows that life is too short, and especially when we're working, if she feels like it's an unpleasant experience for someone, she wants them to have a great time. So she's a deeply good person, and a national treasure. And only 2 weeks ago, watched her first soccer game live. Strange thing if you're English.
The extremely talented Elizabeth Debicki.
Elizabeth Debicki, wow. She's amazing. And it's been so extraordinary to watch her rise and rise. I think we all feel like we won the lottery when Elizabeth put herself forward to play Jed. She had worked, I'd been aware of her work before, but she was so perfect in that role, and so subtle and intelligent and perfect. She was just brilliant. And I think for all of us, for Hugh and Susanna Bier and Olivia and everybody who made that first series, it's been, we thought this is one of the great actresses, and to watch her go and do the things that she's done in the last decade or so is amazing. She's chameleonic, actually, Elizabeth. She's got this, she's very distinctive, and yet she's got this ability to become other people almost entirely. I don't know how she does it. It's like a magic trick.
Chris Hemsworth.
he and I used to say this thing, like our lives changed in the same way at the same time. And we were bonded by the fact that really neither of us had ever done anything like it before. And it was so exciting. And he and I had quite different lives. You know, he'd grown up in Australia and in the bush, and I'd grown up in London. And yet we had a similar sense of humor and a similar kind of, we both grew up on the same movies, and we felt like we had won the lottery playing Thor and Loki. And so there was this immediate bond that we had, which was perfect as brothers. And for the first 2 years, really, he used to sort of look across like packed rooms and premieres of movies we were at, or the way our lives were changing, people we were going to meet, and he would say, "You're the only one who understands, mate." And we still have that, and I think we'll always have that bond, that actually we were picked out of obscurity in a way to play these roles, and they changed our lives forever. And to play brothers and to play these, there's such a fantastic dynamic between them. What do you not know about Chris? He's so, he's funny, he's kind, he is a great athlete and a brilliant actor. Perhaps what you don't know is how humble and conscientious he is. Every single time that I've worked with Chris, I am blown away by his work ethic. Absolutely knocked out by it. He works so incredibly hard because he knows that it matters. And there are some of these Thor movies where I think people perhaps presume that his physicality doesn't take a lot of work. It takes enormous discipline. Getting up early, staying up late. He knows he needs to represent the idea of Thor, the god of thunder, and that is a physical responsibility. But that's only that's like the half the work, or even a quarter of the work. He often has to lead the film. He has to lead the tone of the film, and he leads it with enormous grace and kindness and generosity. He's always worrying about other people, and he has such stamina and heart. And I think because he's made it look so easy, maybe people presume that it's easy. And I've watched him do it, and I think there are very few people who could have done it. If not any. He's the only one who could have done it. So that's what you don't know about Chris.